kg right now, not confirming the casualty figure, but of course we are learning through our sources that about 5 deaths now have occurred due to this explosion. Meanwhile, according to B.L. Chaudhary, Dr. B.L. Chaudhary of Loknayak Hospital is the MD of Loknayak Hospital. 8 people are dead and 6 are injured. So that's the information now coming into the hospital. The death toll, unfortunately, it seems has risen. 8 people have died, and we're learning that 6 people are injured as a result of this explosion. Javed, this is the statement coming out of the Loknayak Hospital. The MD there saying 8 people have died, 6 others are injured. Okay, I think we've lost Javed's connection there. Professor Madhav Nalapat, the editorial director of the Sunday Guardian, is with us as well on the broadcast. Professor Nalapat, this is unfortunate news now coming in out of the national capital. We're learning that the death toll has unfortunately risen. The Loknayak Hospital MD, who has spoken with the media, has now said, so Dr. Chaudhary has confirmed that 8 people have died and 6 are injured.
Well, I'd like to say you're quite right. It's extremely concerning news because the reality.
कितने बजे जानकारी मिली और ये कैसा धमाका देख रहे हैं, कितना गंभीर हो सकता है? कैजुअलिटी से बहुत ज्यादा है। कैजुअलिटी सुरक्षा के नजरिए से कितने हैं उसका आंकड़ा क्या अभी आया है? इंजर्ड कितने हैं, कितनी कैजुअलिटीज है वो आंकड़ा आया है अभी तक?
सर अभी तक क्या हालात हैं यहाँ के?
पुलिस के आला अधिकारी अब मौके पर पहुँच रहे हैं, तमाम सवाल।
सर फिर भी यहाँ पे कितनी कैजुअलिटीज हैं, क्या सिचुएशन?
एक मिनट आप लोग क्या अपडेट है सर? Right, so the police are not really commenting so far officially to this news, but yes, Professor Nalapat, go ahead.
Look, I'd like to point out quite clearly that this is an extremely concerning matter for a simple reason that this is a national capital and it's an iconic structure by the side of which the blast occurred. And of course, the present death toll is 5. It could go up. Now look at it in the context of the huge haul of RDX and an AK-47 rifle that's been seized from the home of a doctor, for heaven's sake. I mean, doctors are supposed to heal. They're not supposed to be storing RDX and AK-47. They're supposed to be storing medicines and and school and medical textbooks to teach you in medical school. So I'm really quite, I'm quite sure that the Intelligence Bureau will be working overtime on this matter because it's a very
incident or you are treating as an attack.
Abhi, let me find out what has been
जी सर, अभी आप इस घटना को किस तरीके से ट्रीट कर रहे हैं सर?
क्या कहना चाहेंगे सर?
नरेंद्र आ गया,
नरेंद्र आ गया
सर एक बेसिक इंफॉर्मेशन।
So of course, as you could hear in those sound bites, Delhi police saying it's too early to say anything at this juncture. As we speak, in fact, the investigation has already begun. Professor Nalapat, the NI, the NSG also reaching the spot. Delhi police senior officials present there as well on the location where this explosion has occurred.
Look, the fact of the matter is that that's important to search that spot. What's equally important, for example, is to search cyber traffic and to basically, basically, where does this RDS come from? How was it brought to Faridabad? How, if it is from external origin, how did it come and from what way? Did it come from the waterways? Did it come by land? How did it come in? So the reality is that it is very clear that a terror network is now basically through this blast proclaiming its existence. Now, certainly one hall of RDXs has been seized, and I applaud the police for that. But the fact of the situation is that the terror network obviously may have many more tons of RDX stored up. So this is not very good news for Delhi or of any other Indian city. But I'm very certain that in the days and maybe weeks to come, the case will be investigated completely, and those guilty will be there. They'll be booked, because the fact is that today what is happening is there are, in a sense, the Pakistan has bred local terror networks, local terror modules that are basically operating on their own and have no contact whatsoever with with Pakistan. So they can deny that they have any responsibility for this, and there would be no concrete proof of any such responsibility. But I think that what's important is the cyber world, because a lot of this activity, even very terrorist activity, takes place in the web and the dark web, in terms of conversations, in terms of planning, because obviously all the planning cannot be face to face. It's got to be, it won't be done by telephone, it'll be done through the dark web. So I think the cyber police and cyber investigation facilities which are already there substantially in NTRO, in I'm sure the Home Ministry and the police force, they need to be very strongly strengthened. For one thing, the problem with cyber is it incentivizes vulnerable people to take to terror by suggesting that it's a valid and justified reaction to some complaint, which is again presented in various cyber platforms and which is really imaginary, which does not really exist in practice, certainly not in India. So I think you're perfectly right. It's an extremely concerning development, and I think you need a very strong team on this, and you need to basically focus investigation on 2 or 3 fronts. One is the border of India with other countries, and to check whether there are any leakages there. The second is, of course, the internal networks and the internal communication between them. And I think for that, basically ensuring good access to the cyber traffic that is flowing. There are certain buzzwords, certain catchwords that will be there. So I think those algorithms will be found out, given the high talent in India for mathematical algorithms, both in the private and public sector. And I stress, this is a matter for the private and public sector. This is a matter for every citizen, because terror can affect anyone. Terror can affect a company, terror can affect an individual, terror can affect a family. So the point is, this is an all hands on deck approach is needed, and wherever there is any suspicious activity, it needs to be reported to, frankly, not just one, but 3 or 4 channels. And I think that's the only way we can ensure that this particular terror network that has carried out this terrible operation and which may have stored this RDX is basically rolled up and is no longer a threat. And of course, those involved with the storage of the Faizabad explosives, they also need to be intensely questioned, so that we can have knowledge of what networks they've been working with and why and how they got this kind of material. Thank you.
Okay, let me in fact